you brought up WWE, and this is a good time to get onto it. You said you thought Adam Pearce was potentially your gateway into the company. What happened exactly? Who contacted you? Who reached out? How did that start?
I mean, I truly don't know what happened behind the scenes, but if I had to guess, the two people that had the biggest influence were Adam Pearce and Nigel McGuinness. Nigel and I were also very close friends for years before I went there. But basically what happened was I was initially contacted by Tom Hannifan, who's now lead play-by-play guy for Impact. Him and Matthew Raywalt, incredible team, phenomenal.
They're great.
And he said, hey, we may have an opening for, actually, he said, we may have an opening for Evolve. Would you be in? Which I thought that was interesting because I knew Lenny Leonard was, and Lenny's one of the most underappreciated, amazing play-by-play guys in the game. I love Lenny, and he's such a kind person. And, one thing I would still love to do is call an event with him. I've never had a chance to do it. We've become friends, but we have not had a chance to work together. I hope someday we can do that. And so I was like, well, okay, whatever the opening might be. So maybe they were looking for a partner for Lenny. I really don't know. And so I sent in some footage. Actually, I remember what happened was my car was broken into 2 days before he contacted me. I was actually calling a wrestling event and someone smashed 2 of my windows and stole my computer bag. Like an idiot, I didn't bring the bag in because it was going to be a crowded event, and I didn't put my bag in my trunk. I put it in the back seat like a moron. And my computer was stolen and my hard drive was stolen.
Ooh.
And so I said, hey, my car just got broken into. Can you give me 48 hours so I can try to gather my footage? So credit to Ring of Pakistan. I contacted them. I said, hey, can you send me footage of me hosting and ring announcing and doing all this stuff in front of the arena? But sure. They sent it over, thank God. And I had other footage and put it together. And so I was able to send it. And then a couple of weeks later, he reached out again. He said, hey, actually, we're interested in maybe bringing you in as part of our team, which blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, okay. And he said, would you be interested? I said, yep. He goes, okay, we'll be in touch again. Okay. And then this was probably like early March, and I knew it was a crazy time of year because that's always WrestleMania season. So I didn't know what to expect. And I'll never forget, it was a Wednesday, 3rd week of March, and I was still working at a hospital in downtown LA. Running around in my scrubs on very little sleep as per usual. And I was about to go into a patient room, and I feel my phone vibrating in my pocket. And I look down and I see it was Tom calling me. And I was like, oh, keep in mind, this is a very old hospital. So it's hard to find a spot with good reception. So I quick ran in another direction and went near the window and answered the phone call. And I was like, hello. He's like, hey, Johnny, it's Tom. I said, Tom, nice to meet you. Or nice to talk to you again. He goes, I have a question for you. I said, I hope I have an answer. He said, how would you like to work for WWE? And I said, are you pranking me? And he started laughing. He said, no, man. He said, usually we wouldn't hire anyone without an audition, but everyone here who knows you speaks so highly of you. Plus the work I've seen speaks for itself. We need a utility guy. We need a guy who could do everything with a microphone, and you fit the bill. We don't feel there's a need to fly you across the country to audition. We just think that you're worth taking a chance on. And so would you like to start, after WrestleMania? I said, oh my God, let's go. So they gave me a month to get my move straightened out, my life straightened out. I didn't tell anybody. I remember it leaked on the internet like a week before. Not like it's a big deal because wrestling fans don't care if a commentator gets hired, but I just thought it was funny that it did leak. But I didn't tell anybody. I had a small gathering of like 8 to 10 friends the night before I moved, and that was it. And then I moved to Florida, and 2 years later, there were still people who didn't realize I ever lived in Florida.
That's wild. That's wild.
Was.